All right, quiet. Welcome to Politically Incorrect. Let me introduce you to our panel. Annabelle Gurwitch is here, the star of Pizza Man, which we did many years ago, and she's also with us a host for 6 years of Dinner and a Movie on TBS, a favorite of many people, and her new one is Teddy Bear's Picture, currently at Picnic out in theaters. Now, Kevin Richardson, as everyone knows, from the Backstreet Boys, also the president and founder of his own environmental organization, Just Within Reach. Thank you for being here. Erin, Shannon, Public Relations Director for the Building Industry Association of Washington State, and Robert Conrad, TV's Beretta, who, I'm sorry, wild, I mix that always up.
Call me Will Smith, but don't call me Beretta.
And you could see him in the upcoming film Dead Above Ground. I always wanted to be him, and he can still beat me up. Please give a hand to our panel. Okay. So today is Earth Day, which in the Bush administration is that one day of the year when they know they got the photo app. They go out to the woods. They have them stand under a tree and have them basically say, "I'm under a tree. What is your problem with my environmental policy? Am I hurting the tree? No." He announced the Clear Skies program, always with the good names, Clear Skies, can argue with that, which intends to cut acid rain 70% by the year 2018, because 2018, it's only acid from the sky. What's the rush? And what I love about this one, it's market-based. It encourages the polluters to help out market-based. That's the new thing with pollution, is get them on our side market-wise. But, you know, same with health care. Do you really think the market can do it, or is this some place where government really should step in and just say, hey, we're government. We're there for the greater good of all of us, so just do it? Okay, that's my first question. What would be my second question? Robert Blake. Not much of an environmentalist, but no one's going to answer that question? Or is this a prank you're playing on?
You're not talking about the environment?
Yeah.
Well, you know...
I'm saying, can the market really handle this?
No, some things just should not be controlled by the market. I mean,
let's there you go.
That. It's ridiculous. Why should we're going to trust these
companies? Say it while we're on the air.
Okay.
Because the free market is only the basis for the greatest, most powerful, most successful country in the history of the world.
Yeah, but that's the economy. This is something else. I did this issue originally with health care. Same thing. You know what?
Same thing. Socialized health care it has been so successful where...
Well, we never tried it, okay? So that's one reason.
That's right, because we didn't have to. Everyone else
but what
did,
we have now is let's not get onto health care, but you know what?
Successful in Sweden.
Not very successful in Canada.
No, you know what the truth is, though? Okay, the truth is that if people...
anything wasn't successful in the Soviet Union.
No, but if people were really thinking forward, it's true. If they really thought about making money, they would invest in the environment, because we're going to run out of coal, we're going to run out of oil, all these big polluters. Eventually, that won't make money, but what's going to make money is renewable energy sources. So if they really thought in advance, the guy who can figure out how to make hydrogen fuel cells... Now, I don't know what the hell a hydrogen fuel cell is. I mean, I don't know what it looks like, what it would be, but if you could make money doing that, which, you know, there's scientists out there who know how to do, you would make a lot of money if you can fix it.
I'll tell you what a hydrogen fuel cell is to this administration. And Bush had one on the White House lawn recently, and then he had a little girl, and he said, you know what, I hope this little girl gets to see, before I die, a hybrid car. Hello, I've got one now.
Right.
I've seen it, and you don't want it.
No.
Wait, I went down and
I went... You have never been in it.
No, I saw it.
Saw it?
Yes. And I got 5 grandchildren, and you can't get them in there unless you want them to be little ants.
You're wrong.
No,
you're wrong.
Your car is so small, the little rats are hunchback. Please, Bill.
If I want to drive an SUV,
No, I'm not wrong. I've seen it. That car is not a car that can take... Wait a minute, seriously. My son Christian has 5 children, okay? So there's the wife.
No.
Wait, there's 7 kids. Where are you going to put them?
There is a small SUV.
Right?
There is a small SUV.
Thank you.
Electric, totally electric car.
Thank
A small SUV electric car out right now.
But let's talk about money, because if our government doesn't start making it, raising those cafe standards, is that what that's called, right? The gas miles. The other countries are building these cars that are more fuel efficient. We're going to lose our money. Detroit's going to shut down because we can't compete. So there's a financial incentive.
Detroit is responding to demand. What people want are big SUVs. They don't do it because that's what the car corporations want to do.
Yeah, let's increase the gas mileage on the car.
Well, I might want to sit home and watch porn all day, but that's not
come out with a hybrid Suburban.
Well, people didn't want
it. Looks like a Suburban and runs like a Suburban. I'll buy it. But until then, don't tell me I have to drive some little tin can death trap that gets 80 miles to the gallon.
Okay, I am not driving a little tin can death trap. You two, selfish. Yeah, Detroit is responding to yes, of course. That's because they're not the government. They're business. That's what they do. They respond to money. The government isn't supposed to be that.
It's the basis of a free market
yes,
economy.
it's not the basis of what our government is. The government is not supposed to supply react
no
to supply.
Free market economy. What the government says is what goes. No free market
the government's job is not
matter?
to be in business. I'm the pussy, and you're the big macho guy, but you're afraid of your 15-year-old daughter. Go ahead.
No, I just want to
Wait till you have a 50-year-old daughter. You'll be scared to death.
That's too young. Go ahead.
I just want to say, you don't have to be a tree-hugging, lentil-eating, vegan freak like I am, which I'll admit, to care about the environment. I have a 4-year-old son. So while you're up there driving your SUV through the snow, most people in L.A. that I see driving SUVs are not driving in the snow. You see all those car commercials, these cars out in the Arctic tundra. That's the
I don't mind people who are truly outdoors people, who have that. But, yeah, exactly right. It's so hypocritical. You talk about hypocrisy.
So,
these people who need this off-road vehicle to go to the strip mall.
It's not a matter of need. It's a matter of want. It's a matter of supply and demand. I want a Suburban.
You know what?
I pay for a Suburban, so why shouldn't I be able to drive a Suburban? The government should have no say in what kind of vehicle I drive.
If you drive a hybrid car, you can help stop dependency on foreign oil.
And as soon as they make a hybrid car,
that's very patriotic. That's very American.
It does perform. Have you done it? Have you been in it?
Taking a test.
Tell him not to race. Don't race your brakes at her. I have 7 daughters.
Thank you, sir.
7 now.
Thank you.
I had 7 the last time, Bill. Come on.
Wait a minute. Just because you want it, okay, let's say, you want to eat really cheap hamburgers that have E. coli in them. Well, that's not good for you. There are some things we
But I can cook it, and if that's the way I want to eat it, I can take it in my kitchen and cook it.
No, but unsuspectingly, it might be served to you. So we depend on the government to make standards for us.
We depend on the government
to lead us to what's better for us.
We depend on the government for too much. Government has certain basic functions.
Yes.
And they have by far overstepped those functions.
Really? Our basic health and safety, that's not in their purview?
Our basic
the
health and
acid
safety.
falling down from the sky, that's something that we should leave to the private sector?
And he's doing something about it, and still you kick his ass for it.
He's doing something about it? He is allowing them to pollute more under the guise of... Back on our Earth Day show, we're going to talk about nuclear energy. But first, I just want to say something about my car. Because you two are such demonizing liars. You are liars. You have not been in this car. Wait a second. I am going to tell you something now. Because you know what? I've been plugging this car, and Toyota, they don't want to sell it. They want to sell their SUVs. They don't care about me and my car. They don't even care. Okay? But let me tell you, it is not a car. It is not what you are pretending it as. Trent Lott tried to do that. He presented a little purple car as if we're all walking around a little tin can. It is not uncomfortable. It is not powerless. You don't have to plug it in. It is just like every other reasonably sized car. It's what everybody drives in Europe, and it could beat your stupid car up a hill any day.
Not my Jaguar. Have one of those, too.
And I have been in one, Bill, and they're tiny, and they're small, and they're not what I want.
Well,
It's
tiny
not
and
what I'm
small.
going to
Not all
pay
of them
money
are.
for.
There is a
Well, how selfish do you have to
small
be?
SUV out right now that is totally
I'm paying a lot of money for a
electric.
car, and I want to get the car
They're
I
only
want.
tiny by your
I mean,
gluttonous
just
standards.
because I don't agree with you, doesn't mean I'm a demon, Bill.
Well, why do I have to live in your polluted world? I'm paying a lot of money in taxes, too, and I want my environment protected.
Can I tell you something about your environment?
What, Robert?
I was the soccer coach, and do you want me to take the team in 3 different cars? Then you'll have triple pollution.
Well, if the
No,
cars
it's
have
all
lower
electric.
emissions, thank you.
People who have
Yes,
gluttonous
Not they're all
families and
electric.
gluttonous appetites need big cars.
And do you
I
ever
agree.
Are you ever in a gluttonous stretch limo cruising around L.A.? Or do you drive your little Toyota everywhere you go?
I do.
Oh. You've never been in a limo?
I have been in a limo, but I learned and changed and adapted. That's how we survived. The dinosaurs didn't do that, and that's why we use their oil today in the car.
What do I do with my airplane, Bill? Have an electric airplane? That's called a glider. Let's all glide to L.A., folks, to see Bill Maher.
Even if he did on occasion ride in a limousine, at least when he's running around town hitting the grocery store,
Hey, and
he's
you know
saving
what?
some.
When I'm driving around town going to the grocery store, I drive my little car. It's not a hybrid, but it's a little car.
Let's talk about nuclear power because they want to store it in, and I agree with this, in Yucca Mountain. Basically, here's the situation. There's 131 sites that have nuclear, radioactive, rotting waste, and this stuff is bad. You wouldn't want to take a bath in it.
Super fun site.
And usually it's like, where are these 131 sites? Usually out back of the nuclear plant. You know, they throw it in the dumpster. So instead, the government wants to take it all and put it in Yucca Mountain. It's in the middle of nowhere in Nevada. It's 1,000 feet below the top of the mountain and 1,000 feet above where the groundwater would be. I think this is a good idea. I'd rather take all...
Well, I'm going to give you a good reason why you don't want that to happen.
Go ahead.
Me, I'm a terrible driver. I'm in the car, I'm on the cell phone, I'm reading a script, I'm doing my makeup, I'm feeding my kid. You don't want those trucks transporting nuclear waste when I'm on the road and I drive around a lot. Okay? Now, what you're doing is you're exponentially increasing the amount of accidents
You're
that can
doing what
happen.
she's doing and he's doing. You're scaring people with something that isn't real.
Oh, no, it is real.
You're scaring
I didn't
people.
scare anyone. I said I'm entitled to a car that seats 7
That
people.
the world is going to end.
What the hell did I care?
You're a very scary guy.
Now, wait a minute. Where do you drive when you read the script and you are on the cell phone?
I'm driving in your neighborhood, baby, so
Well,
watch
if you
out.
are, honey, we'll talk.
What
That's a prop. I know.
That's a real one.
You
never know who you're sitting with.
You don't think there's any risk transporting nuclear waste?
I do think
on the
there's a
road?
risk. I think there's a risk to living. But we're talking about the best solution. Do you think there's less of a risk keeping it in 131 sites around the country above ground?
That's
It's
exactly the
above
lie.
ground where they can keep an eye on
But
it.
not only that.
If they put it below ground, it's out of sight, out of mind. What if we have an earthquake? And we have a great tradition and history of burying stuff in the ground. We're doing such a good job. We don't have any leaking going on.
Wait a minute.
But how is it going to be?
Government is what the hell? That nuclear waste.
Nuclear waste is stored in the ground.
Wait a minute.
All these
I have a better solution, okay? I have a better site for them. Okay, why put it in Yucca Mountain? No, wait. All
It's
the terrorists.
called Yucca.
Okay, wait. The terrorists, we're telling the whole world this is where it's going to be, right? Let's put it in the most secure location in the country, the White House. Isn't that our most secure location? Isn't it present? Or how about that secure location where they had Dick Cheney hiding? Where is that? We don't know. Let's put it there.
Yucca Mountain.
Where was Dick Cheney? I want my nuclear waste there.
All right, enough about this environment and the earth. Let's talk about what's important. Robert Blake. I mean, please.
Okay, there are so many important things happening, but we have to talk about Robert Blake, and we're going to say the whole media circus.
Let's talk about Robert
We're going to have to learn what they ate for dinner, and the worst part is I'm obsessed.
Because it's a reflection of the moral depravity of Americans. It really is. Their obsession with us.
Yes?
It's all. It's true.
And you're not reading about it. I mean, they hook you.
No, I could.
All right,
I don't even know who the hell Robert Blake is. I could give a less. What
I know him very well, as a matter of fact.
But
I know him. Sorry.
Yes, I'm sure you.
Thank you.
Went to many
People get shot every day, and there's the media circus.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
but what's interesting about this one is that he, yes, he's a celebrity.
Was.
was that, you know, he thought he could get away with this, allegedly. You know, he allegedly committed this crime.
Well, O.J. got away with it.
Because I think he was convinced that he was a great actor. Because, you know, he thought, well, I'll go out to dinner with her. Remember, he had a happy dinner. That was right. He finally had a happy dinner. And then he comes back to the restaurant, and, you know, I left my gun. Where is it? Oh, it's wrapped up in that tinfoil swan. Thank you very much.
Well, he
thinks of everything except, and then he throws the gun in a dumpster. It's like, you know, he plans everything out to the T because he can cover it all up with his acting. And then the gun, whatever, I'll worry about that little detail later.
Hey, wait a minute. Let's not convict him on a talk show.
No, allegedly.
No, but obviously he made some mistakes, right? He asked like 4 people to kill her
allegedly,
before him.
we don't know what he did or didn't do.
Oh, come on.
No. If Robert is guilty, he'll be punished for it.
They seem to have a lot of evidence.
What we can't do is sit around here and talk about what we don't know.
Exactly. Oh my God.
That's the job of Fox News.
And I'm sure everyone in the media is going to say we're not going to talk about it now.
No, this is a murder trial. This is a murder trial. This is not the environment. But this is about a man who allegedly killed his wife and who may know.
But they
God,
look,
could you blame
the
her if he
prosecutors
did?
and the police.
Wait, could you blame her? Why? Why do you say that? Because she deserved it?
I'm not saying that. Lighten up.
Because she sold her panties to the mail.
A little bit. I'm just.
The wrong forum to talk about a trial that's ongoing. Wrong forum.
She was
Wait
not
a second.
good
It's not the
person.
wrong.
She was
It is the wrong
not a good
forum.
person.
It took 11 months. 11 months for them to gather evidence.
Annabelle.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I'm just poking. Lighten up.
No, you said she wasn't a good person. Wait a minute. So, because I've done a lot of crappy things, and am I going to be hit in a minute?
No. I'm just saying, after the O.J. thing, if they weren't pretty sure they at least had a case,
right.
I don't think they would have been making that pronouncement the other day. I have to take another commercial.